Hello, guys. So, let me start out by saying I love America. And I think America has been the greatest country in my lifetime. Now, during my lifetime, there has been leaders who created policies that degraded America. Especially leaders who removed American jobs and put them overseas to benefit huge corporations. I'm talking about people like Ronald Reagan, who the Republicans loved very, very much. People don't realize that industries started to ship to China and other places under Ronald Reagan. That's when industries and manufacturing in America started to change. Because that's when capitalism started to take shape in America. They believed that they could go to places where they could get cheaper resources and cheaper labor, manufacture the goods there, ship them here, and sell them for a lot more money so the corporations could make a lot more profit. And in doing so, the American people lost their jobs. And American cities like Michigan and Philadelphia and Ohio, which was once big booming manufacturing towns, turned cities of drug addicts and empty homes and failed construction projects. And ever since then, all the wealth that was in the middle class started going up to the top 1%. And these people know what they're doing to us. And they know that at some point the country will revolt. That's why you see all these people at the top. What are they doing? They're building bunkers, but they're not safing their bunkers, and they know that because the military people who they have protecting them can just overthrow them and move in their families. So what do? They decide that they're gonna go to space. Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, they started to build space programs. Another thing that I wanted to talk about is that I'm seeing in the comment section where people are talking about it's not the president's fault and it's not the president's duty for people to have health care. They should get up off their ass. I think a lot of Americans, because they grew up in a family where they never had to worry about health care and they were on the parents' plan, and after that the parents continued to pay for the health care plan, or they got a good education, so they ended up in a good job that paid 90% of the health care. Not everyone is that fortunate, right? For whatever their circumstances are. And we can't judge everyone based on ourselves, right? Everyone have different circumstances. So the healthcare crisis is not, you can't judge everyone based on yourself. We have a very complicated healthcare system. As I was explaining to someone in the comment section, he was saying to me that people need to get up off their asses and go get a job so they can pay for their health care. And I was saying to him, there are people who work 3 jobs, sometimes 4 jobs, and they still cannot afford their health care, right? And their jobs are not providing health care because you have to meet a certain threshold, right? And some of these jobs, even though they provide the option of health care, they do not provide anything toward the health care, right? Because you have to make up to a certain amount in order for the job to make a contribution, right? Or under a certain amount for the job to make a contribution, right? So the program that the government had in place, the marketplace, is where you could go and shop for insurance. And if that doesn't exist, a lot of people don't have insurance. I'm not an expert at this, but I'm trying to explain it, but based on what I understand. A lot of people don't have insurance not because they're not working, not because they are just sitting at home. And what you have to understand also is that a lot of people just cannot work. They're at home taking care of the parents or the grandparents, and a lot of these people are elderly people who don't know how to work a computer system that you now have in place. The phone system or the letter system that was in place that they all understood how to use, it's all gone. They're making it harder for Americans to access these systems, right? Therefore, they're taking it away. America has changed. This country that I love has changed. It's not the same. And between unemployment and inflation, and the next thing that we will see is a shortage of goods and services. And that's going to be a problem because price gouging is already a problem. And I've seen that from a gas station that I bought gas from. They're talking about gas is $3 something. I'm paying almost $6 a gallon for gas. And it went up like 30 cents every 2 days since this war started. This is a new America. This is a new America.